Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adventures in Collecting.
Hello.
It is a great, big, beautiful today.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about magic today.
Yeah, and not the type that you gather around, but the type that you gather for.
And not the magic from Mattel.
um,
But shout out to Magic. Hi, Magic.
Hi, Magic.
I don't know if this is video today or
It
not.
is. It's always
Okay.
video now.
Oh, it's always video
It's
now?
always
All
video
right. Hi,
now.
Magic.
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about our recent trip to the happiest place on earth, Walt Disney World
Mm-hmm.
in sunny Florida.
Yeah.
Um,
And a lot of people, it's Disney World is the whole thing. The Magic Kingdom is what you think Disney World is.
yeah, yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about all four parks in our conversation today. But before we hop into that, a little bit of housekeeping. So we have currently on our Instagram, we have two giveaways that are currently underway. We have our normal monthly giveaway, which if you're not following us at AIC_podcast on Instagram, make sure you do that, because not only are we going to keep you up to date on all of the toy news and all of that fun stuff, but we do also do monthly giveaways. And this month's giveaway is for a pair of figures.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, do you want to tell our listeners what we're giving away this month?
I'll tell them what time it is. It's time. It's time. It's Vader time.
It is. We are giving away a pair of Ultimate Edition Legend, WWE Ultimate Edition, Legends Vader, both
Target exclusives.
Target exclusive, both the
Hey,
standard
Eric, why is it
and
two? Oh, you were
because
just...
yeah. Yeah, there's a standard and a chase. So both
You get both.
one winner will get both Ultimate Edition figures. So yeah, that post is pinned to the top of our page, along with our second giveaway, which we just launched. This one is a twist on something that we do every year with our good friends at Chubsy Wubsy Toys in Little Falls, New Jersey. Amazing mom and pop toy store, family run, absolutely awesome place to shop, hang out, talk.
Yep,
Uh,
absolutely.
we do a Toys for Tots toy drive with them every year, and we always ask people to visit their website. And one of the things that's tough about donating toys a lot of times is, one, you got to go out, you got to buy it, you got to find a Toys for Tots drop off box. We get that all covered for you. So you go to Chubsy Wubsy's website, which is chubsywubsy.com, CHUBZZYWUBZZY.com, and you make a $9.99 or more purchase, and right in your checkout experience, in the special instructions, you put donation and your Instagram handle, and for shipping you select in-store pickup, and then that way we know you have made a donation. We'll take care of the rest for you from there. And on the plus side, the special thing for this year is, if you do that, and you'll see this again in one of our pinned posts on our Instagram page, we are giving one lucky donor a Hasbro HasLab Marvel Legends Giant Man. So
It's time. It's Giant Man time.
we wanted to make this year's donation larger than it's ever been. So we figure, why not sweeten the pot a little bit, and give you guys some incentive to donate. And like I said, it'll be one random donor. Again, like the rules and everything, and what you need to do in order to be part of it is in that pinned post. But the most
But what are the rules, Eric?
so the
Most
rule
importantly.
So the rules, like I said, that doing that donation, putting your Instagram handle, donation of $9.99 or more, um, you have to follow both us and Chubsy Wubsy on Instagram, and you have to comment and tag 3 friends. That's all you got to do. It's pretty simple. Again, the goal here is to help kids in need. and kids that don't have gifts for the upcoming holiday season for one reason or another. And Toys for Tots is an amazing organization that we've donated to for years and years and years, even before doing this podcast. But obviously,
Mm-hmm.
being in the toy world, they're doing something great that is very much so connected to things that we care about. And there is this amazing uh, organization that works with Toys for Tots called Operation Toy Train, and they work with local Boy Scout groups. They work with local organizations to restore and repair old train cars, and they take that train kind of up and down the northeast corridor here in the United States, and they make stops and do pickups for Toys for Tots.
Yep.
They've got Santa Claus on the train. It's always a really cool experience. I think last year they had a bunch of old decommissioned train cars from the Ringling Brothers that used to actually transport the animals back in the day for the circus. So it's always really cool to see that train come up and do the donation in person, and that's what we are going to do this year, as we do every year. So
Yeah.
if you do donate, make sure you do it before December 12th. That's when the cutoff is. And then we will, like I said, we'll do the donating for you. So we'll take all of those toys that you guys purchased at Chubsy Wubsy, and we will personally hand them over to
Deliver
Toys
them.
for Tots. We'll give them to the big man himself. Santa Claus is on that
Yeah.
train every year.
I'll actually be able to get there this year too.
Yeah.
I know last year I think I was sick, and the year before I was injured. So
Yep. And if you want to see the really cool, kind of piecemeal conglomeration of a train that Operation Toy Train is, you can follow them on Instagram as well. It's Operation Toy Train, and you can see their schedule. And if you got little ones and you want to see a really cool train, take a look and see if they're stopping anywhere in your area. But yeah, so that's kind of it for the housekeeping. Again, those two giveaways are the one for the two Vaders will end. 30 days has November. We'll end on November 30th. I had to do the mnemonic in my head. We'll end on November 30th, and we'll announce that
yep.
winner on December 1st, and then the winner for the Giant Man will be announced on December 14th. So, and then stay tuned for our of course, we're going to end the year with our annual holiday in a box giveaway in December. We've got a whole huge massive box of toys that we're going to be giving away as well on top of the donation. So it's always got something cool going on our Instagram page. So
Yep.
definitely make sure you're following us
Every month, always a good giveaway. Make sure to check it out.
Yep.
And enter. You never know.
You never know. It's like pro wrestling. You never know.
It's like the lottery commercial. All you need is $1 and a dream, except all you need is an Instagram handle and a dream.
Yeah, and a U.S. mailing address.
And a U.S. mailing address. And to
be
tag 3 friends.
Be 18 or older, usually, too. And
Mm-hmm.
all the rules are on the post. Go look at the posts. That's what you need. All right. So from the magic of giving to the magic of Disney.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been to Disney World. So it was cool to go back.
Yeah, me too.
Liar.
It's been since May.
Liar. So yeah, the last time I went was pre-pandemic. So 2018 was the last time I was there. A lot has changed since I was there.
My oldest niece was a mere 3 at the time.
Yeah, 3. You only had one niece at the time. Yeah, it so I went all the time, from when we were kids going together, but also as an adult.
Yeah, we went every year.
Yeah,
usually.
Our parents fell for that old timeshare trap, that Florida timeshare trap,
but, and not DVC, unfortunately.
No. But yeah, so we went every year as kids, and then as adults, we started going every year. We went on our honeymoon there, and then kind of went every year after that for a while, leading up to the pandemic. And we had a really big, nice trip planned for I think it was 2020.
Yeah, it was right after I had come back, and you guys were gonna go. I feel like it was like March.
Yeah, we were gonna do cruise
or
and
April.
then the parks right after it. We were gonna do the 1-2 punch there, but the world had other things in mind, and
Mm-hmm.
then you know, lots of life changes happen. So it's taken a while for us to get back there, but it was worth the wait. I mean, because it honestly, in a way, like without sounding hyperbolic, like it almost was like going for the first time again. So much had changed just in protocol and like obviously like the general layout was still familiar. It's not like it was like
Mm-hmm.
completely upended, but like
And just think if you were, it was if you were coming back in that like 2021, 2022 time frame, like when the first time I went back,
yeah,
you would have been, it would have been even more different.
yeah, yeah, with all like the social distancing changes and like the
No photo ops, like things
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so I mean we visited every park. We were there for a week, which was awesome. Um I kind of I mean let's start with Magic Kingdom, right? Let's
Yeah,
start there. Um I think that was the least different for me, in terms of stuff that was there. I mean, obviously with the one exception being Tron.
Tron.
Um
Because
which
yeah, Mine Train and all that
yeah,
was
was
there.
yeah,
Yeah, because Gaston was there when you were there.
yeah, we were actually there when the year that new Fantasyland section opened. We were there for the soft opening for that. Like we
Okay.
got like let in early. Um, they were like the Disney survey people were standing outside. It was very funny. The whole part, obviously the park was built right. They had these like shrubs on wheels. They looked like fake shrubs planted
Mm-hmm.
in like wheelie boxes, like almost like equipment crates, but like
Okay.
made to look like wooden crates with like shrubs in them. And there were the Disney survey people standing outside. And if you've ever been to Disney World, like you always
Gotta
want to
love
go, you always
Disney research.
yeah, you always want to go talk to the Disney research people because usually there's something cool going on if they're standing around. They're usually wearing like a gray.
Or they just want to know if you're having a good time.
Yeah, but still, definitely worth chatting with them if you ever see them standing around. And then they have like a different cast member get up on. It's usually like a gray with like yellow stripes and stuff. Um, and we walked up and we're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Kind of like trying to look over their shoulders, and they're like, "Oh, we're actually looking for people to have some kind of new experiences. Would you be interested in going and seeing the new Fantasyland?" And we were like, "Yes." And we got to go and do everything. We did Enchanted Tales of Belle. We did what else was like new in there at the time? We got to eat at Gaston.
Mermaid,
We went to Mermaid. Yeah, it was
Mine Train.
yeah. It was a very very cool early experience. So it was fun to go back to that stuff. But Tron, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know
It's
if there's other than the other Tron ride that is like that this is a clone of. I don't think there's another ride quite like it.
no, I would say no.
Um, it's just it's amazing that it's right next to Space Mountain, right? Because like Space Mountain's one of those stalwart rides. Like
Mm-hmm.
it does what it does so well and has done it for so long with like the simplest technology. It is a
Well,
rat's nest of a
mm-hmm.
crazy mouse roller coaster in there with minimal set pieces and just like lighting or
Lights.
lack thereof and some
Mm-hmm.
sound effects, right? And the darkness is what kind of sells the experience. It's very simple next to this like complex immersive ride that like really makes you feel like you were sucked into the grid.
Mm-hmm.
um down
You're on a light cycle.
like and it's funny too because like usually with like the really immersive rides, and we'll talk a little bit about Rise of Resistance later, but
Now,
like
did you do the regular line or just the lightning lane?
we did both.
Okay.
um
So that was the first time I had ever done a lightning lane, but I had seen the regular line. So like going through that maze of grid
yeah,
was unreal.
yeah, it was very very cool. what I was gonna say is, like, usually with the Disney stuff that's, like, really immersive, you don't get to see a whole lot of it until, like, you're in it. And even though you get to see the light cycle run happening outside, like, around you, and that really cool, like,
Canopy.
canopy bonnet thing that, like, lights up at night, even though you get to see that and you can see people, like, zipping through on the track, getting, like, digitized. And the way that, like, the first time you see that in the launch area and just kind of the inside and that Daft Punk score hits, like, my hair's standing up on the back of my neck, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the rock thing. It's standing up on the back of my neck again, just thinking about it, because it really, like, it's like you're there. It's
As
really cool.
as far as like theme park experiences go, um, it's definitely, I would say at this point, probably number one for me. Um, as far as like, from kind of beginning to end experience. Um, as far as like a ride goes.
Yeah, I think it's still number 2 for me. Behind.
Mine is number one because I just have such a like. I love Tron.
Yeah,
Like I have,
yeah,
I
yeah,
have the. I don't know if you could see it.
yeah. There it
The
is.
Tron Legacy tattoo. Um, Last Scion. So, like,
Yeah, they nail the whole experience, and then, like, the part of the ride that you can't see from the outside, like the inside stuff with the way
mhm.
that the screens are utilized, like, you feel like you're in a light cycle run, like,
And
you.
I know what you're gonna say. Number one is, and it's kind of like a 1A for me.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah,
But
um
like as far as like it's too nostalgic, like hits you the right way.
oh yeah,
Um, but for me, like I never thought like this weird movie that I love so much was gonna be a theme park ride, let alone one I get to go on. I thought it was just gonna be like, okay, I guess I have to go to China, like
yeah, yeah, and the other
because
thing
it's
that's.
that's in only in Shanghai. Otherwise,
Yeah, the other thing that's really cool about the ride is it is
where's that in Hong Kong? I don't remember.
it's in
I
Asia.
think it's in.
It's in one of the
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
yeah, it's definitely not in Tokyo Disney Sea. It's in either Hong
No,
Kong or Shanghai. While you're looking that up, the other thing that's really neat about this ride too is it's kind of you get
yeah,
two
it is Shanghai. I was right.
you get two very interesting and different experiences depending on the time of day you go on the ride. Because when you go on it
I've
at
not
night,
been at night.
so we had the opportunity to do both. We did get on it at night on the Friday before we left. So um on the Friday before we left, it happened to be the first day of the Mickey's Christmas party. Which, if anyone is not familiar with the way that this works, is on certain days during the year they have these kind of after hours
Holiday parties,
holiday parties. Yeah. Uh,
Halloween and Christmas usually.
so they are ticketed events, but it also means that the park closes early. So in this case, the park closes at 6 o'clock, and what they do is at 6 o'clock they start to kind of filter everybody that does not have that evening party ticket out, because the party technically starts at 7. So there's this weird dead zone time between 6 and 7 where the park is open, but nothing is updated. So, like, when you go to Disney World, you can use the
Mhm.
you have to use the My Disney Experience app on your phone. And if you're ever curious, you can download it, sign in for free, and you can check wait times for things for whenever you'd like. Uh,
If you're a Disney person, you probably do.
yeah. Uh, so what ended up happening
It's
was
always fun to be like, "Yo, do you see Smuggler's Run's only 20 minutes
yeah.
today?"
I actually sent the text message out today earlier that Tron was only a 40-minute wait. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what ends up happening is it still
It's
costs.
because the entire state of New Jersey is not there this week.
Correct. The the park still costs a full day. Like, if you bought a ticket to Magic Kingdom on the day of a Christmas party but did not buy the additional Christmas party ticket, you still pay the full price of a day's worth of park, but you get
Mm-hmm.
significantly less time. So
Correct.
unless you're an annual pass holder, most people do not buy park tickets for Magic Kingdom on those days
Or doing double duty like you did.
unless they also have the holiday party as well. So the lines were very short that day, but
Hmm.
also during that dead time or that dead zone time between 6 and 7, none of the wait times were updating. So everything was at like 90 minutes, 70 minutes, but it really wasn't. Everything was like 15 minutes. So it was already dark at that point. So we just walked right back up onto Tron, walked in, and got to ride it at night, which is it was awesome. Getting to ride that ride at night is awesome. Something else that we kind of learned just from going this time around, having a little one that wasn't tall enough to ride stuff, is the rider swap program there is unbelievable. It is so easy to use. It makes so much sense. And this is a perfect example. So there are four of us. One of us is not tall enough to go on it. You walk up to the ride, you scan the wristband or the magic band of the person that is staying off the ride with the too small child, and then the child that is tall enough to ride the ride gets to ride it a second time. So you scan their wristband as well.
Hmm.
Then the child that's tall enough to ride rides with one parent or adult. They go on. We waited the 15-20 minutes to get on Tron. We got off. She gets right back on with my wife, and then I take the little one and go for a walk and go on the People Mover Buzz Lightyear or something, right? Really cool program. It works on literally every ride that has a height requirement. You just got to do it in the beginning. It's not something that's advertised. Like, they don't, like, it's not like in the app. It's one of those things where if you know about it, you know about it, or if you don't, you don't. So,
What I like about what Disney does that I've not seen other theme parks do is like usually it's like you're waiting at the exit.
oh, you can wander around. You can go do whatever, like,
Hmm.
go take the other kid on a.
Like I think Six Flags does that where it's like, all right, you're waiting at the exit, and then now we switch.
So unless you have the Flash Pass, if you have the Flash Pass at
Correct.
Six Flags, they could do the similar thing. But yeah, otherwise you just gotta wait. So, which kind of defeats the purpose. But Tron, obviously we both love it. Awesome. Some crazy good merch too for
Hmm.
Tron. They have a whole gift shop, which is also one of those things where it's just mind blowing that like this movie has a dedicated section of a gift shop with a
Yeah.
pretty cool experience that you did. Not
Hmm.
this
Which
trip,
I
but
yeah, last trip I went. Um, I got you can do the identity program, which you go into a booth, you record some lines, it takes your photo, and then you get yourself put into a Tron action figure. You get it's a larger, think like a shampoo bottle figure, but with a bit more articulation, and it's pretty great.
it's got a little digital screen for a face.
Hmm. You press the button and you see your face, like it mouths the words crudely, but it's great.
I thought about doing it. It was unfortunately not available this trip. I think they were having some.
Oh, it was.
I think they were
Oh
having some
wow.
technical difficulties with it.
Yeah, there was a really cool thing where like so you go, you do your part. They give you a little card, which I still have. I don't have it on me at the moment. Um, you everything is scanned onto the card, and then you put your card in. You come back in an hour. You put your card in, and like the figure rises out of like the computer, and It's in a arcade cabinet. It's great. It's fantastic.
That's very cool. Yeah.
And you could also get the identity disc, which will like do pick whatever color you are. You get to pick a couple different options for the figure as well. Um, like I made mine purple. You can do like make you have a little chip that's in there. You put it in the identity disc, and then that's your manual like identity disc, which is also cool. Yeah, it was great. You have a
Uh,
lot of cool T-shirts. The Super Seven reaction figures are all there.
yep. The Diamond Select arcade cabinet Tron figures, which is
Hmm.
one of my favorite pieces in my collection. I love that arcade cabinet. I still have
You
not
can
opened it and taken the figures out, but
have a glass replica like marquee,
yep.
the arcade cabinet marquee. lots of mugs and T-shirts, and there's a really cool fleece that I got last time because it was a little chillier than I remember it being. Or actually, no, that was the time before. But
Those had like a cool track jacket hoodie that like looked like the Tron armor. I don't know
oh
what
yeah, that's
like
new.
yeah, like it looked like the
Like the
suit.
bodysuit.
Yeah, it looked like the racing suit from the film, which is really cool. So, it's just
And the only place you can get the Super 7 figures and the light cycles too.
yep, yep, and they still had all of those. They had a really
Hmm.
nice display of all of them. Yeah. Uh, Speaking of Super 7, we also saw some new Haunted Mansion holiday figures. So Haunted Mansion holiday,
Yeah.
not something that's in um the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. It's something that's exclusive to Disneyland, but it was still cool to see those figures. So there's
Hmm.
three 2-packs. Each come with a Hitchhiking Ghost and a Nightmare Before Christmas character in holiday gear. So it was Jack, Sally, and Oogie Boogie, right?
Yeah.
With the three Hitchhiking Ghosts in a little Doom buggy. Uh, so they had those three sets too. Always cool to see kind of new stuff from Super 7.
Hmm.
Um, in person. Yeah, it's just it's great to see those retro cards hanging on pegs places that aren't like Target.
And
Um,
that original hitchhiking ghost set is great too. I have that.
yeah, those that's where like for me like that's like the sweet spot for those reaction figures, like those figures that can be boiled down to that really simple format without losing character. And like
Hmm.
the Tron figures obviously like are almost like made for that, and the Hitchhiking Ghosts are great. It's a great way to encapsulate those three characters.
Yeah, with Tron Ares coming out, hopefully
Fingers
can get
crossed.
that in some legacy.
Yeah, I would love some legacy figures. I think Diamond Select made legacy figures at one point. But I wasn't paying, unfortunately was not paying attention to them at the time. So
I don't know who made. There were definitely like retail. It wasn't Diamond.
no, I think Diamond Select had Tron Legacy figures. This is going to make for excellent viewing as I look up Tron Legacy figures and try to keep talking at the same time.
Wasn't it like a Mattel vehicle or something, I think? Or
Um,
Hasbro?
Maybe Tron Legacy did not. Okay, so there was no. All right, so Diamond Select never did the Tron Legacy ones. So
Yeah.
Tron Legacy, I thought that they did.
No, the only thing that
Let's see.
Diamond did was the Kingdom Hearts figures,
Oh, that's that's what I'm thinking of. Um,
which is just Tron and Goofy, isn't it?
yes, maybe. Spin
Oh
Master.
no, the Spin
Spin Master.
Master.
Yeah, Spin Master had Tron Legacy. Yeah. Um,
Diamond Select just did Tron, the original
yeah,
movie.
proper. Tron original. So let's park hop, Dave. Let's park hop from Magic
Oh,
Kingdom.
well, I was gonna say anything about Tiana. That was you went on
Oh,
Tiana's.
yes. So I did get on that. I don't
I would have liked to.
how do I
I'm
feel?
not a big Splash Mountain fan. I don't love getting wet on rides.
All right, so
Not my favorite.
let me put it this way. Splash Mountain was a fine ride. Like it was fine. It was just okay. Like I think it's an iconic piece of like Disney, right? Like it's like the seeing the log flume come down, the animatronics, right? Like it was an iconic piece of Disney World, but I didn't have any sort of like emotional attachment to it. It was fine. I love Princess and the Frog. Like I love that
Yeah, it's a
movie.
great
I
movie.
love those characters. I love the music. I love everything about it. It
Yeah, the fact that it was like a return to traditional animation, like just
Yeah.
fantastic
Yep.
movie.
Um love the characters. Tiana is an incredible princess. Lewis
Mhm.
the alligator is one of the funniest modern Disney characters, and I will
Dr.
die.
Facilier is a great
Great
villain.
film. Mama Odie makes me laugh my pants off every time she opens her mouth. Um all of that being said, This felt a little shoehorned. To be honest, like, it felt a little forced, and some of the animatronic choices that they made even bugged out like a 9-year-old. So, like, at one point, like, Lewis looks like an alligator. Like, he's got like smooth or like scaly looking alligator skin. And
Sure.
then there's one animatronic where all of a sudden he looks flocked. Like, he actually looked like plush and fuzzy, like texture
Okay.
wise. And it's like,
That's not what an alligator looks like.
yeah. And he's like standing next to like bears and stuff. And it's like, we've seen better, like, and it like was already kind of felt like it was moving a little janky, and like the couple of Tiana animatronics looked like they were moving a little janky. It just was like not to the level of which I would expect. Like, let me put it this way, right? So like they did an overhaul, like a full overhaul, reskinning, retheming, new music, new costumes for that new Country Bear experience, which was an
Sure.
amazing improvement over the
It
original.
was a thing that I sat through.
Those animatronics were better, like considerably better than what was on that ride. And
Yeah,
there
and I think
and
part
there
of
is
it is just
there is a
it.
lot of showpieces on, like, it had been a long time since I'd been on Splash Mountain, because again, like, it's just one of those things where it's kind of to your point, like,
I'd rather not go on.
I don't want to get wet and walk around wet all day. Or the time of the year that I was going previously was when Florida still got a little bit chilly, and like I didn't want to get wet
Hmm.
and cold, because we weren't going in like July and August anymore, and
If you're going January, February, it's still chilly,
yeah,
especially at night.
um, I didn't I usually skip it. I usually skip that ride, so I had forgotten how much time you actually spend in the vehicle, like just kind of going through set pieces and going through different parts of the show.
It's an incredibly long ride, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. And when the animatronics are not great and the story is, at least with like Splash Mountain, the story made absolutely no sense. Was just like they're
Well, there was a lot to cut out.
yeah, like basically like they're after this rabbit and you're following them through the story, and because you're following this rabbit,
And why is there racism? Like,
but like the story didn't make any sense, so you didn't really sit there and
mhm,
think about it. You were just like, oh look, it's a fox and a bear chasing a rabbit. Oh look, there's gophers. Oh, the crows are trying to scare me. Like you just kind of were there. There
mhm,
now is a story, and because the story kind of doesn't make sense, and it's using characters that I really like in a way that I don't think is using them to their best, like, features,
mhm.
it just felt like a miss to me.
Not to mention, they can't do. It's amazing that they were able to do what they can on Frozen, and I don't know if it's that new animatronic style that's on.
No, it's
Uh,
not the face projection. They went back to like the olds, which I actually
oh,
prefer.
so they just literally reskinned everything.
No, like, well, see, I wish I had been on it more recently to have a better idea of like what the original set pieces were.
Yeah, it's. I couldn't honestly remember.
They seemed like all new animatronics. Like, I don't
Okay.
remember them, like, I mean, Mama Odie is a very specific shape, and her animatronic looked like she walked off the screen and became an animatronic. Like, hers
Okay.
was great. And you see it like at the end of the ride. This
I,
the one showpiece I will say was phenomenal was at the end of the ride. So after you do the final splash and you come back around to like the final showpiece, um, is the exterior of Tiana's restaurant, and like every character from the movie is there, like performing and like having a party.
okay.
That was like coming around the corner and seeing that was like, whoa, like this is really cool. It's a shame the whole ride wasn't this good, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was a ride.
Yeah. It's one you kind of wish was. I didn't go on it. I will probably go on it once.
The queue is great. Like going through the restaurant and like seeing like Tiana's
Mhm.
kitchen and all this, the awards that she's won on the wall, and like,
And again, me only going on it once has no is not. anything against Princess and the Frog. I love Princess and the Frog. If it was not a log flume, I'd go on it
Yeah.
multiple times every time I go.
I will say the setup for it is awesome. So like she builds her restaurant on a salt mine, and
Okay.
there's lots of puns about like seasoning as you're
All
going through
right.
the queue, and that's
I do like a good food pun.
that's why you're in a log flume, is because
Okay.
her restaurant is attached to a salt mine, and she's mining her own seasonings. So like,
So it's a new story.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this takes place after the film.
Okay.
So the restaurant is open. She's won awards. She's trying to throw a party at her restaurant, and
Okay.
she enlists Lewis to put a band together to play at the party. It's the one thing she's missing. And Lewis is like, "Oh, I'm going to take these people to help me. We're going to go through the bayou, and we're going to find the best musicians of the bayou and put a band together." So
It's a fun idea.
you're collecting animal band members.
Musicians?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
animal
cool.
musicians. So that part of it is like fine, but then there's a part where you apparently get shrunk down to the size of like a firefly, but I kind of missed that. Like I had to look it up afterwards, because at one point Mama
Okay.
Odie's like, "We're gonna make you big again," and I was like, "I was small." Yeah, but it again, great music. The ride's the ride. If you like Splash Mountain, all the parts like the exciting parts of Splash Mountain, none of that has changed. All the drops are there, and then the big drop is still the big drop, and it's an exciting big drop. And yeah, but great merch too. They had an amazing Spirit jersey. I'm wearing one of the Spirit jerseys that I picked up.
Which I was so annoyed that I got wet on that ride, like due to rain. So we went to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll talk
and it
about
started raining.
We'll talk about this real quick. This will be our one Animal Kingdom piece.
Yeah, because Animal Kingdom Unchained.
Yeah.
Unchanged. Sorry.
Yep.
Animal Kingdom completely unchanged. There's
nothing new. Nothing new about
Dinosaur is going to be out soon for Indiana Jones, but that's not yet.
And Dino Land's getting replaced with Encanto.
Yes. But nothing new to report there because they're still open.
Yep.
So, we go on Everest.
We had the strangest ride experience on Everest.
It was bizarre, but it just goes to show how much I hate being like soaking wet. As soon as we go on, like the group before us that boarded the ride, it started raining.
Yeah.
We get on, it starts raining a little bit heavier. At which point, like, I can't see anyway because I gotta take my glasses off. But now I definitely can't open my eyes because I'm getting like hit in the eye with rain.
Yeah, if you've never been on a roller coaster in the rain, it hurts. It's not a pleasant
It's not
experience.
fun.
It's really not. I mean, I was laughing my ass off on it because
I was laughing because it was happening.
Yeah.
And then so Everest is a mountain, like in real life and in Disney. On the other side of the mountain, it was not raining.
Yeah.
So the part where
bright and sunny.
Yeah. So I'm like, what is going on? And then we get off the ride and it's raining. Like, I'm like, what? This is beyond even the Florida, Orlando daily 15-minute rain. Like, it's literally, if I step to the left, it's not raining. If I step to the right, it is raining. Make this stop.
It was very, very strange. It was very, very strange.
I'm wearing a soccer jersey. It's like stuck to me. It was
also
the worst hour and a half.
It's also very strange because you're riding a ride called Expedition Everest, and like there's snow features on the ride, like to make it look like you're on a mountain, and it was just weird being like rained on while there's snow, and you're thinking about Yetis, and you're like, none of it worked. It made for a very unique ride experience. I still love that ride. I got the Spirit jersey from it because I love that ride.
It's a great ride.
I love that ride so much.
Hated that time on it though.
Yeah.
I mean, liked it because of who I was on it with, but Like that was the least fun version of that ride I've ever been on.
Which, by the way, I've mentioned it twice now. We are not sponsored by Spirit jerseys, but if I could replace my entire wardrobe with just Spirit jerseys, I probably would. I'm like a full convert. I have 3 of them now after this trip. Um, and
Well, you have more than I do.
and I was on their website looking at their non-Disney Spirit jerseys today and nearly ordered a few more. So
So like I've gone to track pants, you've gone to Spirit jerseys.
I honestly like I don't know how people are wearing these in Florida. I need to be short sleeves or shorter when I'm in that kind of weather, but like
Mhm.
we're in, as you can see, we're in like, that like fall leaning into starting to lean into winter.
It's
Uh
finally cold in New Jersey.
yeah, which is great. And these Spirit jerseys are just super comfortable, and they're just obnoxious enough to fit my personal aesthetic. Um,
Yeah, I have one from Disney World and I have one from France. I don't have any
I
others.
have a Disney Cruise one. I have this Expedition Everest one, and I have the Haunted Mansion one, which glows in the dark, and
Okay.
and that's perfectly obnoxious. I love that. I love that so
I
much.
think my France Phantom Manor one glows in the dark too.
Yeah, but I'm fully, and they had some. I had to stop myself because they had so many cool Spirit jerseys. Like
That new Haunted Mansion one's cool.
Haunted Mansion one was great. I loved the Tower of Terror one that they had.
Yeah.
I loved the Nightmare Before Christmas Jack one that they had. They had an amazing one in the Coca-Cola store in Epcot that had polar bear arms. Like they were
Oh, I
actually
thought you were
like
gonna say it was Beverly, and I
no, they actually had like furry white polar bear arms. Like it was like a red
that's a lot.
Coca-Cola with like white polar bear arms. Um, yeah, no, but
Still, I still don't know why Coca Cola doesn't just make it for Epcot. That's all you have to do. Like, I mean, granted, like my homemade Beverly shirt rules, but
but a
like,
real one.
how is there not official Bev merch?
So before we get into Star Wars, because I want to spend some time, we'll end with Star Wars because there's a lot to talk about there.
Hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So heading
Cosmic Rewind is
Cosmic
fantastic.
Rewind. Speaking of things that don't have enough merch, I need a cake toast shirt and I need an every person comes out tired Epcot shirt. Like both of those things should exist. But that
Although they had a new shirt that was fantastic, which was the Wonders of Xandar shirt.
it's modeled after the Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Hmm.
Super cool. The ride is very meta, as you would expect something Guardians of the Galaxy to be. Shout
So is the stuff on the queue? I don't. You only went the one time, correct?
we got to go on it a second time, so I got to see the videos that you were talking about. The with
The interviews from Xandar TV while you're going through the queue,
yep, very
and see all like the cool ships and stuff.
yep, and the map, the model of
Mhm.
Xandar, and Peter talking about wanting to go on Horizons and stuff. Um, yeah, very fun ride. Um, yeah, I just again like marvel of engineering how that ride works.
Pun intended.
Well, if you notice, no Marvel logos anywhere to be found on that ride for obvious
Nope,
reasons,
not allowed.
and also,
No
I'm gonna
Mantis.
no Mantis because she is an Avengers character. Um, so we have a future guest coming on that works in the law field, mostly in like licensing. Uh, and he one of the things that he worked on was kind of convincing Disney to go after the Guardians before Universal was able to do it. So like that's like one of his favorite achievements. He saw that we were in Disney World and he was sending me
Hmm.
messages on the side and he was like he said that very thing. He was like, "You'll notice no Marvel logos anywhere, no Mantis." But yeah, very cool. It's a that we'll save that story for another day, but if you aren't aware of the absolutely insane contract license issue that exists between Universal Studios and Florida, to make a long story short, Disney World is not allowed to use Marvel characters from the same families in which Universal has used in their Islands of Adventure east of the Mississippi. So that's why you can go to Disneyland and you can see Avengers Campus and all Spider-Man and all that good stuff. But
And all the rides internationally as well.
yep, and even the cruise stuff. They when they do Marvel Day at Sea, it has to be
In
international
international
waters.
waters.
Yep. Yeah, it's very very fascinating. But the Guardians of the Galaxy do not exist. Their origin is them, like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's their origin family.
Mm-hmm.
So since they are not from Fantastic Four, they are not from the X-Men, they are not from Spider-Man, they are not from the Avengers, or they are not from. No, that's it. It's just those four.
Or they are not mentioned in the park at all.
Yeah. Hulk.
So,
But I mean, he's an Avenger. Yeah, but
like, there's a Ghost Rider reference in Universal Studios. Ghost Rider cannot be in a Disney park in the eastern half of the country.
yep. Until that contract is given up.
Or more like given up, because
Yeah.
I think it costs them less to renew than it does to operate.
Yep.
Than they make operating.
So Guardians of the Galaxy, that's why they're allowed to be in.
But supposedly The Simpsons is coming up.
Supposedly, yeah. Which is interesting. But yeah, that but now it works the other way around too. Universal can't do anything with Guardians because Disney got to it first.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, also,
which is supposedly like also the rumored reason why Doctor Strange was an unadvertised appearance in parks.
Yep.
In Hollywood studios back in the day.
Yep.
And like,
and when they did the Baby Groot
mm-hmm.
too. And I think didn't they do Captain Marvel meet and greet? They might have.
I don't know because I think she's an Avenger.
She is, but I think they did do a. I don't remember now. But anyway, too, outside of Guardians, really cool merch. Again, the gift shop outside of Guardians had some really cool stuff in it. Like you mentioned that shirt. They had some Marvel Legends, which was really nice to see. And they weren't like marked up either. Initially, I thought they were, but the more I looked at it, I realized that the one that I was looking at is just that price. So, yeah, they had Superior Spider-Man from the 85th collection. They had Scar from the 85th collection, and they had the retro wave with the Spider-Man retro wave with
Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve and Tombstone, and Jack-o'-lantern. So it was cool just to see Marvel Legends there. I mean, that's really fun. But they had this really cool like relic section too, where you could get like the Tesseract, and you can get the orb, and you can get Loki's staff, and you can get the individual Infinity Stones, and they had like an Iron Man style gauntlet, and they had like the Thanos style gauntlet, and then they had a Black Panther style gauntlet, which was like a super what if situation, but it looked really cool, like seeing it like the purple and black. But yeah, they had tons of cool stuff like that, and something that I always loved when I was little, I loved pullback cars, like pullback racers. They had a really cool pullback racer of the
ride
vehicle with Rocket and Groot in it. So that was really neat too.
Also, we need Terry Crews as a Marvel Legend. I would buy it.
That would make an amazing park exclusive. Park exclusive Marvel Legend. Just one of those ones that's like permanently there.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be a deluxe.
No.
Just
you just got to sculpt. They don't have obviously don't have his likeness, and they haven't done a Nova Corps body yet, but like it's pretty close to the Guardians of the Galaxy suit from the newer movie. Maybe get away with it.
And just give him a like open hands, closed hands, and away we go.
Perfect. All right. So let's jump right into Star Wars now. This was the first time I got to experience Galaxy's Edge, and I opened my heart to the entire experience, and just kind of like loosened the bolts on that were holding my bank account closed.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it drain. We did everything.
Had you seen Toy Story Land?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we had.
Okay, so that was not new for you.
No, that at the end of Toy Story Land was a wall. The last time
Okay.
I was there. Yeah, so I actually have some things. So first and foremost, I'm gonna bring this into shot here. I had to do the lightsaber. So building the lightsaber at Savi's workshop was one of the.
And you hit the button. I heard the
Well, I took
no
the blade
no
out.
blade, the no blade sound.
I absolutely had to do this. This was like on my list of non-negotiables for this trip. Something that I have wanted to do since they announced that this was a thing. As you can see, I built the like High Republic era. They call this the protect and defend style of lightsaber. This experience, I don't want to rob anybody of the experience. So I'm not going to tell you like what it was like on the inside, and like if you really want to, you can go and watch a YouTube video about it. But if you are at all looking to do this yourself at some point, I highly advise against spoiling anything. The one thing I will say that you should do in advance is just take a look at the menu. So like if you look at like if you Google Savi's workshop or build a lightsaber Galaxy's Edge, you can look at the menu. So the way that it works is there's four
And it's pretty unchanged as far as I could tell.
They've only made one change since the beginning. So there's 4 categories. There's like a classic looking lightsaber, a Sith looking lightsaber, an elemental looking lightsaber that uses
Which
like
is what I have.
wood and bone and leather looking textures. And then what you're seeing here, the protect and defense. And
because that had the coolest end of the hilt on it, which was the
tooth, or the bone.
The tooth.
Yeah.
No, it was a bantha tooth.
When you go to do this, you have to pick one of the categories, and then within the category you have customization options. So like in this instance, you had two different hilts, you had 2 different emitters, you had 4 different midsections to choose from, and 2 different types of switches. And you can mix and match any which way.
They'll all go together
within the category, but you need to select that category before you go in. They have that kind of preset for you. So I do highly recommend, just so that way you're not panicking on the spot there, because I did see some people go through that experience, which probably added a little bit of unnecessary stress. But definitely take a look at the menu. These are heavy. They're metal. They're substantial. I have a couple of the Black Series or Force Effects, or actually going back to Master Replicas of the like the official licensed lightsabers. These are above and beyond heavier. Like I would say, like this hilt is heavier than 2, maybe even 3 of the other ones, and those are metal as well.
But this, shockingly balanced.
Yeah, this is heavy. It does have a removable blade, which goes in pretty easily. It's like a spring-loaded situation, and
it'll make a weird noise if you don't have it in correctly.
Yep, and
if it's not seated.
And then when you turn it on, it will do the light, the like build up with the LED. When you build it, you get to select excuse me, one of 4 kyber crystals. So you saw that mine there lit up yellow. You can buy additional kyber crystals in the store in Doc Endars. The 4 crystals that you can choose from in the experience are red, blue, green, and purple. So I chose purple when I built this, only because I have green, red, and blue lightsabers. I wanted to, diversify. But since I was building that High Republic era style saber, I instantly just thought of yellow. So I went to the store afterwards and got a yellow crystal. And I think Dave...
Which character did you get from your yellow? Like what was on the slip?
Oh, I don't think I actually looked at that.
It's
here.
The reason why that's important isn't because of the lightsaber; it's for the holocrons.
How do I
If you put that,
how do I tell? Oh, Indira Stokes.
okay, so that's whose crystal you have.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't realize.
When you put the crystal in
What he's
the,
talking about is this little slip. I honestly thought, just looking at it quick, I thought it was written in Arabic, so I didn't even bother trying to read it. But it does say Indira Stokes.
so we're on series 2, and series 2 has the new packaging, which is this thicker kind of,
Yeah,
I'll say more to it packaging.
yeah. The crystal packaging is really neat. Like it's got again, like
This,
it's got metal in there. It's
yeah, the series 1, and I lost the top to it, but if you've done this before, you know, like the series 1 packaging has a little thing that you do here, and then the crystal comes out, and it's just a crystal. Like you have no clue what character it is until you put it into the holocron and it talks to you. And then there were different options, and there was a whole chase game and whatnot. Um, and then there was one black crystal in it that was Snoke.
okay.
So they've now done. I have both holocrons, like I have the original Sith and I have the original Jedi. They have now made new ones, Series 2 ones, that will use the old ones, but also use the new ones. Like if I put this into a new one, an old one, I just get, for all intents and purposes, either like Luke or Obi-Wan
Okay.
for blue. Um, So mine, but I as a collector, I am on a chase hunt. So I saw that there was a new. I didn't need black again. If I got black, I would have given it to you. But if I saw that there was a new chase that you can get, and this one is for red. You can get red with a blue core, and you can get blue with a red core, and it's Ben Solo Kylo Ren.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like the little slip of paper is half and half.
Oh, so you got the chase.
I got the chase
Very cool.
completely. Like I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get 2 just to see if I get it. Like if you want my extra red one, you're more than welcome to it.
I might take it. Might take you up on that.
Because it's a Saj Ventress. I have a red one. It's not going to do anything different in my holocron, so I don't need it.
Okay. Well,
It's probably gonna be like Darth Vader if I put it in the holocron.
it's a very cool process. The piece is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
My own,
It's easy to like change the crystals,
and
like
it's fun, like unscrewing it,
mm-hmm.
and like everything threads together.
The thing I would recommend, and you need a jeweler's screwdriver for it, is if you're going to let it sit, take the batteries out.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it rips through batteries, and the last thing you want is those things exploding in there.
Yeah, that's a good point because it is going to go up and be displayed, and I do have
Mm-hmm.
jeweler's screwdriver, so we're good with that. My one piece of feedback for the entire
Or like computer screwdrivers, that'll work too. You just need a Phillips head.
My one piece of feedback for the entire experience is they do not sell a wall mount for it. So I did find a really cool one on Etsy that I ordered and is coming, so that way it can join my other lightsabers on the wall.
Yeah, mine is leaned up against my closet door.
But it would have been
Still
awesome.
in the bag.
They do sell a mount for it, like a desk mount, that apparently lights up. Like you can put the crystal or like extra crystals or something in the base or something like that. But it would have been really cool for them to sell like a wall mount for it. That's one thing that
I don't think they ever have. I think they had like a desk or a mantle piece.
They do.
But that's about it.
Yeah, they still have that. The thing for me overall, so like Rise of the Resistance, absolutely incredible experience.
Also,
what a ride.
Got this little guy. I got a new Porg for my Porgs. Little keychain.
Porg lives on. Porg lives strong.
Lots of Porgs. But this is the newest Porg that I don't have yet. I got 2 because one is on my keychain. The other one goes with the rest of the plush Porgs that I have.
Nice. Porg son.
Well, that's the big pop.
The big pop is Porg son. The thing
Porg.
The thing that blows my mind about Galaxy's Edge, having seen it for the first time, is just the level of immersion. Like one of my favorite things that I brought home was this, which is a Coke bottle. And it is unlike any other Coke bottle you have ever seen because it looks like a thermal detonator. Um,
Meanwhile, dude, how great is the TSA with that stuff? Like
amazing,
they know.
amazing.
They know you're coming back with weird stuff from
Yeah,
Disney.
so
But like,
I got on the plane. We were the last people to get on the plane, so we had to gate check our bags. All the overheads were filled. The flight attendant was like, what you need to do is take the blade off your lightsaber, put your hilt in like your backpack or just hold it with you. And she was like, and we'll put the blade we'll fit the blade up top. Like she like
mhm,
walked me through the whole thing. And she was like, do you need help taking it apart? I'm like, no, I got it. And she's
they
like,
know.
yeah. But she was like, if you take the hilt off, you fold the one side of the bag over because it comes in, I can't reach it, but it comes in like a little carrying case and it's padded. And she was like, the padded part for the blade will keep the blade safe and it'll fit in the overhead without a problem.
Yep.
Just keep the hilt on you, and that's how I flew it home. It was awesome. But yeah, like it's just it's amazing because Disney does such a good job of making you feel like you're immersed in whatever land you're in. Like, so whether you're at Magic Kingdom and you're in Frontierland, when you look around, that's pretty much all you can see. You have to really, really try to like see out of that land into a new area to the
Hmm.
point where like when you're in Epcot, they realize that sightline wise, if you were looking into Morocco, you would see the back of Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios. So they designed Tower of Terror aesthetically in a certain way, so that way it fit into like the Moroccan skyline in Morocco in Epcot. So like they really pay attention to that stuff. But when you are in Galaxy's Edge, I cannot stress this enough. It feels like you are in a completely different theme park. Like you have exited
Hmm.
Disney and you are now just walking around the set of Star Wars. The characters act differently. There's very few to no lines to meet a character. They just wander around. Like Kylo Ren literally shoulder checked me. I tried to take a selfie with him and he shoulder checked me and then got up in my face and told me that I was a filthy spy and that he'd be back to deal with
Hmm.
me later. Like it was amazing. Like you walk around the Black Spire outpost area of Batu. Batu is the name of Galaxy's Edge. The fictional planet that you're on is Batu. You walk around the Black Spire outpost like trading area and like gift shops, and it's not like the same kind of gift shoppy stuff you would find in like the gift shop attached to Star Tours somewhere else in the park. Like you're not going to find Black Series figures. You're not going to find like like regular looking t-shirts. You're going to find clothes that look like they're out of the Star Wars universe.
They do have regular T-shirts, but they're like Black Spire Outpost
Yeah,
shirts.
and you have to
So it's like you're at the Black Spire Outpost.
yes, and like the toys look like they're all like the toys that like Jyn Erso has in Rogue
Hmm.
One, like the way that the stuffed animals look like they're handmade. The action figures are like these wooden statue like action figures that are very rudimentary looking. Um, it's just yeah, like stuff that looks like it's hand carved.
Hmm.
And,
Which, by the way, this is also for the lightsaber.
yeah, that's your hilt replacement, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, they
So I could.
the food is delicious,
The
all
food is canon.
but also weird enough. Like we did the cantina, we ate at Ronto Roasters, which is a Ronto wrap is their effectively like a Star Wars hot dog.
Hmm.
We ate at their Hangar Bay restaurant, which was like a Disney quick service restaurant with like again all familiar foods just presented in ways that are just weird enough to make it feel like you're eating something far like truly alien. um Being able to see a 1-to-1 scale Millennium Falcon parked in the middle of the area is
Or an X-wing or an A-wing or.
yeah. I mean it's just there's you look around and there's just so much stuff everywhere. It's overwhelming in a good way because if you really love Star Wars, and I'm sure I'm coming across as somebody, if you have not been listening to the show for very long and um you know Star Wars is my favorite franchise in existence.
Like, it's almost like saying, as a theme park experience, it's the greatest is almost unfair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I mean,
Like, it's
it's everything.
and Universal so close with and I am not very familiar with Harry Potter.
Yeah, with the Wizarding World stuff, like the newest Wizarding World stuff over in Universal.
The one that's in Islands of Adventure is the better one.
Yeah, I forget which one is which.
That's
That's Hogsmeade.
the
No, Diagon Alley.
it's the one with the candy store. That's what I can tell you.
They both have it's the one with Gringotts, right? The bank.
Yes.
That is Diagon Alley.
Yeah, it's like cool, and it's the only part of Universal where you can't see anything else in Universal.
Yeah.
Everything else, like if I'm in San Francisco, oh look, there's Springfield.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Or you're at
and then over there's is Queens.
Yep.
Like,
yep. But it's just fully immersive, and like there are certain experiences. So like again, I'll tell you, I could tell you till I'm blue in the face that their Rise of the Resistance was the coolest ride I've ever been on ever. Period. At end of story.
technologically, it's a marvel.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane, the amount of detail and just it's insane. It's insane. And I'm not going to say anything more than that because I went in. I managed to not be spoiled on that ride all these years. If I can do it, doing this stuff, it's
actually very easy to stay spoiler free for a theme park.
Yeah,
shockingly.
Just don't Google ride through videos on it. As curious as you are, if you are a Star Wars fan, please.
Tron was open for years, and I almost cracked, and then they announced they were putting it in Florida, and I'm like, nope, not going to watch it.
I beg you. I bet, and they have Rise of the Resistance that's in Disneyland is the same as the one in Disney World. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. Do not watch ride videos of it. Just wait until you can do it and do it because it is.
If you want to be spoiled by a ride there, be spoiled by Smuggler's Run.
Yeah,
look that up to your heart's content.
Smuggler's Run, I would actually recommend to look it up before you go on it. I kind of wish I had because I spent so much of the time trying not to screw up that I actually barely watched what was happening in front of me. I was so concerned about pressing things on time and listening to Hondo that I was actually watching what was happening.
Honestly, the easiest way to like be a part of that ride and get everything is being a pilot.
Yeah, because you have to. But yeah, don't look up anything in Rise of Resistance.
But as my youngest niece said about Smuggler's Run, I didn't press any buttons. I loved it.
There truly is no ride like it. It's a surprise at every corner. Like, I truly mean that. Like, I'm sure unfortunately I only got to ride it once because the wait times were just out of control. But I'm sure there's stuff that I missed that if I went on it again, I would see things differently and you know, like there's so much to look at, and you only have two eyes, so you can only.
But the whole experience is from the second you cross that threshold.
Yep.
To when you go through the queue.
Yep.
Like the second you either tap in with your magic band or just wait on the regular line, it starts.
Yep. The story starts, and it's just
the saga begins.
Room after room of just experience
of stuff.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I actually took video of one part on purpose of you and my oldest niece.
I should share
encountering.
I'll share that. I'll
something for the first time.
I might post that. Because it's the one part of the ride that like everyone takes a picture of. Like I knew that part was coming. I just didn't know where it was coming in the ride. So I don't think it's that much of a spoiler. Plus it becomes
you can cut it off early.
It becomes blatantly obvious that that's what's going to happen the moment you get on the thing before it, if that makes sense.
The moment the ride starts, yes, that's fair.
So I don't think it spoils anything really, but it is it's remarkable.
It's honestly, they spoiled it in the commercial, and there's another thing that's like a shocking spoiler
Yeah,
that was in the initial
that
commercial
I had
for it.
forgotten about. But yes, and then on the other end of the spectrum, right, you have Smuggler's Run, which is a super fun ride. Again, like really
Mm-hmm.
immersive. Getting the fact that the queue walks you onto the Millennium Falcon and the Desert table and like the little booth is there, and you get a second to like peel off and you can take a quick picture, which we did. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew.
is just again like just really really cool.
They knew what everyone was going to want to do.
But that ride is 90% video game, 10% ride. Um, if you're not on like we were a full group of 6 where we all knew each other, but we had 2 small children with us that were enamored with the fact that they were on the Millennium Falcon and were not paying attention.
One of them did good. One of them was doing what she needed to.
Once she realized that she needed to and it actually impacted the ride, yes, she started paying attention, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing. Part of that ride is based on your success in those roles that you play in the Millennium Falcon cockpit, and if you aren't paying attention or don't or underperform, you get a different ride experience. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to make sure we got as much coaxium as we possibly could, and we got 2 instead of 3. I'll take it. We didn't crash the
It
Falcon,
came
but
close.
we did come.
Tank controls. If you're a gamer, tank
Yeah,
controls.
yeah, yeah. I was a pretty good engineer. I got like 93%, so wasn't on me. I latched those coaxium containers. I did my best.
Well, I mean, the other engineer is 3,
Yeah, the other
so
engineer was 3, and Mom was doing a great job doing double duty for her, reaching behind,
mm-hmm.
hitting stuff. But again, like that ride apparently gets some flack for being more of a video game than a ride. But
Yeah.
I thought
If you don't like that going in, you may not. It may not be the experience for you.
yeah, what they really should do is in the future, maybe once they get another attraction there and it becomes like the third attraction, do
I
kind
don't
of
know if there's going to be a third.
what they did with Mission Space, where you have half the ride is just like you know you get like the ride through video, where it's like you get the motion simulator, the ride's doing its thing, like you always get the 3 containers of coaxium. You don't necessarily have to play. You can just kind of strap in and enjoy the ride sort of thing, and then make the other one, like the other half of the ride, like you want to play the game and try to get as many as you can or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe for people that just want to watch it, because like if you just want to be an observer and you want to enjoy the ride, you literally can't. There's no option for that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be any more or less entertaining, to be honest.
I mean, it is funny. The Jim Cummings, who does the voice of Hondo, who also does the voice of Winnie the Pooh, bunch of other characters, but his dialogue always makes me laugh, and that's
Him yelling at you is great.
part of the fun, because he does it in like that like that kind of like passive aggressive, like I borrowed this ship from Chewbacca, don't worry, he won't be that mad, like
Mm-hmm.
and when you mess something up, he's like, it only blew up a little.
Yeah.
which is always great. Shouts to friend of the pod, Craig, who does an amazing Hondo impersonation.
Hondo.
Yeah, Ezra, my boy. Mine always ends up sounding like Watto in my head.
Watto. That's who I thought you were doing. I'm like, Watto's not on that.
When I try to do Hondo, I just get Watto. But yeah, Galaxy's Edge was everything I hoped it would be and more. I wish I had gotten a chance to do the Galactic Star Cruiser and stay at the hotel and kind of have that whole experience, but
yeah, but
rip.
Not to be.
Yeah, so I mean, my overall kind of opinion of this trip was that it was awesome. It was nice. As much as I missed going every year, again, it was kind of nice to have that like sizable chunk in between my
Yeah.
visits because I really like everything was fresh. Like even stuff that I had
Hmm.
been on, a dozen or more times over the years, like had like kind of like a new shine to it in a way just because I missed it so much. Like even stupid things like this is the first time I've actually enjoyed It's a Small World in like so long, just because it had been so long since I'd been on it. Or like Peter Pan's Journey, another one where it's like, you know,
I finally got to go on the behind the scenes tour for the first time. That ruled.
living with the land, living with the land. Um, yeah, I mean, it was an absolutely awesome trip. I'm excited for my wall mount to come for my lightsaber so I can join my other ones. I love my little, I don't know where he is. Oh, he's sitting over there on the sail barge. I
Your
got
zombie
little
droid.
zombie droid factory droid.
You love Lamp.
I love Lamp. I love Lamp. Do I love Lamp? Are we just saying things now? Loud noises.
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, it was an awesome trip. And it was great to go with you. It'd been a long time since I've been there with you.
Yeah.
That was
We haven't been there. It's at least been more than a decade. I would say like 15 years
yeah,
about since we've gone together.
yeah. It was great going together. We got to ride some rides
Hmm.
together.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun.
We had to get pelted with rain on Everest together.
Um, yeah, but it was a great trip.
Yeah.
Navigating the whole lightning lane and virtual queue thing is a little dicey. But
It can be,
once you
but it doesn't have to be.
once you get into it, so like it's stressful setting it up, but then once you start actually using it and realizing like, oh,
Hmm.
actually, like you can't really make mistakes with this. It's just either like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. You get what you get. You keep moving. We did that for the first 3 days, and then the rest of the trip we didn't bother with any of the lightning lanes, and we
But you also don't have to.
no.
Like, if there's one thing I would say you're gonna lean more towards doing than not, it's like getting the individual lightning lane for like Tron or for Cosmic Rewind or for Rise. But
if
otherwise,
if you're going as an adult and you don't have little ones with you and lines aren't a big deal, you don't need the group lightning lane. Like you said, like if there's like it's been a while since you've been there and you want to make sure you get on Tron or you want to make sure you get on Rise of the Resistance or
mhm,
you want to make sure you get on Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like do the individual lightning lanes for those, pay the $20 or whatever it is, and guarantee the fact that you get on that ride that day as long as it's operating, right? Like
mhm.
do that. Definitely do that. If you have little ones, the lightning lane, the multipass was nice because it did shorten our wait time for certain things. But like I said, we only ended up
But just know that there's some you will not need to use it
yep,
for.
yep. It got to the point where on one of the days where like after we used it the first 3 times, we never refilled it because it just didn't.
Mhm.
We didn't even bother. Like
Like if you wanted to like make it where okay, I can go on Star Tours 3 times in a row within 15 minutes, like you could do that, but you probably could do that within 25
yeah,
without it.
yeah. The wait time for Star Tours was minutes. Like I mean, like
Because there's
15.
so many people that can just go through it.
Yep, yep.
It's never down.
Um, yeah. So I mean, it, don't get stressed out by it. That's my advice. Use it if you have those non-negotiables that you need to absolutely
Mhm.
get on, like it's going to ruin your trip if you don't get on those rides. You know,
Like Space Mountain, Mine Train, Buzz, uh, maybe the Haunted Mansion, but you don't really have to for that
now Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, like those rides had minimal wait times.
because they're always moving.
The ones that had the big
Peter Pan,
Peter Pan,
for whatever reason, because it's so slow and there's like 10 ships.
Peter Pan had an obnoxious wait time almost the entire trip.
Always does.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, same thing. Obnoxious wait time, like guaranteed an hour plus.
Hmm.
Um,
You don't even need it for Big Thunder Mountain anymore at this
no.
point.
Tron, there were points where the wait time for that was down to 20 minutes. They get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people on that ride. And it moves fast.
And there's a lot of stuff that's right there.
Yeah.
It's in a heavily concentrated area where, you know, the speedway is down to like a 5-10 minute wait, and it never was.
Yep.
Adding that extra ride and not taking anything away was they almost took away Tomorrowland Speedway for that. I'm happy they didn't, because now it gives people 4 or 5 things to go to right there.
Yep. So as much as, and that's not even a virtual queue anymore. You can just go and get on Tron. So yeah, I mean, like I said, lightning lanes, use it for those non-negotiables. But yeah,
Yeah, Frozen, you could use it for, like, I wouldn't even get it for Frozen and Remy. Like, I guess that's it.
yeah, the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, that
Great ride.
amazing ride. What a wait time on that though. Like that's one that's
Mm-hmm.
like the lightning lane is good for. Um,
Runaway Railway is another good one.
yeah, that one was down to 40 minutes 40 minutes a bunch of times.
Another great ride. As much as I love the Great Movie Ride, Runaway Railway is incredible.
Very cool ride. Those trackless ride systems are very fun.
Mm-hmm.
They let them do a lot of things.
And it's almost time where they're gonna drain the rivers of America.
Yep. So if you go,
Make that in the cars.
get on that get on that steamboat one last time. So
And don't get lost on Tom Sawyer Island, because it's possible.
I've done it.
As have I.
I think with that pretty much covers the trip. If it hasn't already been made very obvious, the highlight for me was definitely Tron and Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, you did a low key great one too that is sticking around, which is Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, so we had dinner. Yeah, we had dinner reservations across the way at Skipper's Cantina, which amazing restaurant. If you're looking for somewhere to eat in Magic Kingdom, we had a little bit of time to wait, and my littlest one was getting a little stir crazy, so I walked her across the way, and we walked up the treehouse. And since it was Christmas time in the parks, the little Victrola that was up there wasn't playing the normal like German classical music. It was playing Christmas music, which I thought was neat. That was fun. But yeah, I'm excited to go back and probably give it a couple years. Go back and once they have some of this new stuff open, this Villains Land that's coming, this Cars stuff.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, lots to be excited about. But yeah.
I would say your next Florida trip will probably be for Dark Universe.
Oh yeah, and Mario stuff. Yeah, the Super Mario
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo. Yeah.
Isn't that what that whole third park is called? Dark Universe.
Epic Universe.
Epic Universe. That's it.
I'm thinking Dark Universe is part of that. That's the Universal Monsters stuff.
Which that ride looks unreal.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I love the Wizarding World stuff. I was the right age for when those books came out, so I'm excited for more of that too. Even though it's weird because I think they killed the Fantastic Beasts like movies. I don't think they're making any more of those. I don't think they're going to finish that story, so having a piece of that live forever in that land is a little weird now.
Oh, that's what's going to be there?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they had said. That's a little strange. I think it's the Ministry of Magic.
You could tell me and I would have no idea.
I think that's what they announced. But I could have sworn it was like that era, like the Fantastic Beasts era, which is like pre Harry Potter.
There's a very fun picture of me from the first time I saw that, of just sheer confusion on my face and bewilderment.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that too. I mean, Disney holds a special place in my nerdy heart, especially with the Star Wars stuff. So,
did you see the direct of Super Nintendo World Japan with Miyamoto going on the Donkey Kong ride?
Yes, adorable.
Yeah,
what a treasure that man is.
That's going to be the same ride too. So
the Minecart Man is very excited. Yeah, so I'm going to continue nursing my beautiful Coca-Cola bottle. thermal detonator and my lightsaber and stuff. But
Coca-Cola products, canon.
yeah, Coke, however you say Coca-Cola in
Coke, Sprite, and Dasani.
and
All canon.
Diet
And
Coke
Diet Coke.
and Diet Coke. Yeah, I think with that, it's time to wrap it up. We will have our next episode. We'll have a guest, so
Yeah.
recurring guest. So
So,
keep it under wraps right now. But I think you guys will appreciate hearing from this person again. So
yeah. So hopefully you made it this far.
I think I think we did all right. I think we did all right.
Yeah.
Dave.
Oh, shout out to the reluctant adult guys who were
Oh yeah, that's right.
there as well.
We didn't get a chance to see them. They were there. Orlando natives. They were there, and
They were in the part in Magic Kingdom the same day, and
the stars did not align. It was time for
imagine being in a place that big and not being able to run into
it
somebody.
was
Like,
it was time for them to leave and time for us to start the Christmas party
in time for me to
and
leave.
time
Like,
for Dave to leave. Yeah, it was just poor timing. Poor
Mhm.
timing. But as I don't want to misquote them, but as they said, go to Disney and possibly not run into a toy blogger.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Dave, as they say, I'm gonna set this one up. I'm gonna throw the softball. So I hope you hit it here. You don't say goodbye. You say
See you real soon.